Hey guys, it's me Meteor, and welcome to another edition of What is Kirby Canon? This time we're talking about Hyness and the Generals. Hyness is first seen at the outset of the game, approaching a very mysterious heart. Hyness performs a spell or ritual to remove the 4 spears containing the heart, but as he does so, all the pieces of the heart scatter across the universe. You will notice that the heart splits into 2 different colors, purple and pink. The purple hearts have a dark power that can corrupt others, and the pink hearts grant powers for good. As Kirby first wakes up, he notices the Waddle Dees are stealing food for King Dedede again. Kirby of course heads to the castle to see just what is going on. Using his newly obtained power, Kirby tries to make as many friends as possible along the way. As Kirby defeats Wispy Woods and Dedede, he notices that they're not exactly the culprit here. There's something else going on involving these hearts. Kirby follows these hearts all around Popstar and eventually leads over to Meta Knight, who is also under its influence. Soon after Meta Knight is freed, a giant fortress lands in Popstar known as Jambastion. Upon this fortress, we first meet up with the 3 generals of magic, the first one being Francisca. She explains they want to assemble the dark Jamba Heart pieces that were scattered across the universe to fulfill their most twisted of visions. Following the Mage of Ice, we come across the Mage of Fire, known as Flamberge. Flamberge never really seems to care too much about finding these dark hearts. What she does care about is that you heard Francisca. Even later when we see Flamberge again, she claims she's searching for Jamba Heart pieces, but her description shows she's taking more of a break instead. If we look at the second part of that quote though, it says that she'd like to invite Francisca to join her, but worries she might melt in the heat. Francisca and Flamberge are hinted to have a very close relationship. I mean, if we look at the description of Francisca's second appearance, it says that her duties have kept her away from Flamberge lately, and that she kind of misses her. You can make of that what you will. Finally, as Kirby reaches the top of Jambastion, he meets up with the eldest of the generals, Zan Partizan. According to her description, she's using her electric abilities to energize Jambastion itself. Before the battle begins, Zan Partizan makes it quite clear that they are working under Lord Hyness, and nothing is going to stop them. Upon her defeat, Zan shows she cares so little about anything else except these Jamba Hearts that she would even destroy her own fortress with Kirby inside it. However, with the help of his star allies, Kirby is able to escape the fortress before it fully collapses. After his escape, Kirby goes across the galaxy, opening up the force field to the base Jambandra. Jambandra base is huge. It dwarfs pretty much everything else in the galaxy, and even has Jambastion fortresses orbiting the thing. After he breaks through the base's defenses, Kirby is finally able to enter the altar we saw at the beginning of the game. Here we see the Jamba Heart and Hyness in the background, but Zan Partizan stops us in our way, very surprised that we're still alive. After failing to stop Kirby at the altar, Zan pleads for help from Hyness. Hyness shows no compassion. In fact, Hyness simply says that she's in his way and kicks her to the side. The sad part is, this isn't just a one-time thing. According to Zan's description, Hyness can't even remember her name and gives her poor treatment. And despite all of this, it says that her respect for Hyness never falters. There could very well be a couple reasons for this. First off, the Star Ally Switch channel says that Zan Partizan had sworn loyalty to Hyness after she had received powerful magic from him. On top of this, if we look back at the description for Zan Partizan, it says her respect for Hyness never falters thanks to his intoxicating charisma. An example of this is shown in the alternate description, where he says, Zan Par, I forgot again, I'm very sorry. Normally someone won't apologize for forgetting a name unless they truly cared for that person. In reality though, Hyness just views Zan as another pawn in his scheme. Getting back to the main story at hand, unlike most common tropes, Kirby does stop their plan before it's finished. You could even see the incomplete Jamba Heart in the background. Hyness seems relatively calm when he first mentions this, but then he shows his true colors. He's absolutely insane. Hyness is completely unwilling to accept this and goes into a whole rant, explaining that they were sealed away and banished to the edge of the galaxy, even to the point of trying to erase their existence from history. What's interesting is that Hyness says they were sealed away for fear of their power, the same reason Galactonite was sealed away. and probably from the same people. Unless that nightmare of a galactic crisis Hyness mentioned was Galactonite, in which case, maybe Hyness was an ancient himself at one time. Regardless, after this rant, Hyness attacks Kirby himself. It's hard to tell if Hyness was just taking it easy on Kirby, or very weak by himself, but once that cloak comes off, all bets are off. He then proceeds to absorb the power of the three generals and throw them around like weapons. You can even hear them grunt once he throws them. It should be noted that when you look at his description at this time, it refers to the generals as sisters. However, the Star Allies channel makes it clear that it is unknown if they are really sisters or just part of a sisterhood. Upon Hyness' defeat, it would seem all hope is lost for his plan, but he has one last idea. In order to give the Jambahart the last power it needs, he offers up the three generals and then himself to give it power. But we'll talk about that next time. See you guys then.